Hi, I'm Coach Jen.
Hey, I'm Coach Jeff.
We're here to talk about club reopening.
Yes.
Yay!
Welcome, everyone. We had a meeting this afternoon for our parents and our athletes and our coaches to just kind of check in and inform everybody about where we are in our club relaunch, our new facility, upcoming competition season, and answer any questions that they had. So we're going to go through a quick slideshow and hit some of those topics. And if you have questions, just reach out to Jen or Jeff.
Yep, and at the end, we'll have some questions that a lot of the parents had discussion about.
So, all right, so let's go ahead and get slideshow going. Right here. Boom. This is our new club logo, courtesy of our friends at Art of Fencing. They helped us with this and another logo.
It might look a little bit like a car type fast logo. This is a nod to Jeff and his love of Mustang.
It's got speed. It's dynamic. It's cool.
There are so many people and organizations to thank who have supported us over the last few years. Thank you. Thank you. Folks are helping us through this transition. We appreciate you telling your friends, word of mouth. There's just so much gratitude for the greater fencing community and our local community. We also have our first small business sponsor, Mole Orthodontics. They've been a client of ours, and I've been a client of theirs. This is how it works in towns and cities. Everyone is out helping each other, and I am thrilled that they are our first Forge Team sponsors. We're looking for other great organizations. Just message us and let us know if you'd like to be part of that.
Return to competition. You know, some clubs have been able to just keep training and competing throughout the entire pandemic. We had a few fencers who were still heading out and doing things, but by and large, when we lost our space, it limited what we're able to do and how we're able to support our athletes and really our community. And that's also a reflection of how seriously our community took the pandemic and is still taking it. But things are opening up. Obviously, there's a lot of competitions happening, and our new team with our new cool logo are heading back out into the world. And so we're at the point now with our athletes and our families, because it is a family effort to support these youth athletes.
We believe it's a family decision in terms of how you participate. And these are just 4 things that we thought you should think about as you're listening to this presentation. 1, think about what participation is right for you and your family. 2, motivation. You as a parent, because this is geared towards parents primarily, what is your toleration for when your kid pushes back or says, no, I don't want to go to practice tonight, or when it gets hard? So what are you as a parent willing to do to support your kid at these various levels of competitive development? We encourage you to think about working with your kids for competition planning and talking to them about what they want to do, but also be aware of any resistance they might have, because competing is tough. And that is a great opportunity to talk to your coaches. The last part is believe. We're surprised at how many parents are surprised when their kids do well at fencing. And it's not a surprise for us, but we can see it on their face. Would you agree, Joe?
Sure. So probably the biggest question or group of questions that we had from our parent group earlier was just figuring out where do they fit into our structure. And we've identified 3 broad areas that with our relaunch and our rebrand to help people really find their niche and where they want to participate and how they want to grow as an individual and as a fencer. So our academy is our introduction and intermediate and really ongoing educational component of our club. And when you join the academy, we help you get started. We provide equipment for the first 2 months to make sure that fencing is a good fit for you. After the first 2 months, you get your own. And we have a wide variety of classes, and they're divided by ages, weapon, And then as our community continues to grow, it's going to also be by level. There's really no enrollment fee, and we just try to make it as accessible as possible
And
for
easy.
people who want to participate. They can come to unlimited group classes. You can come 1 time or 5 times.
Our club is our most diverse pool of people. We have members from all over the state of North Carolina. We offer different types of memberships depending on if you're a member of more than one club or you are in it to win it, so to speak, and you really value that consistent group training and one-on-one individualized coaching plan. We have practices from youth to teens and adults. And this new facility is going to allow for even more specialization of weapons and programs. New fencers, if you're going to join the club from the academy pretty fast, we highly recommend that you be on an individual lesson plan. The skills that you need to be successful, even at a basic level, come from developing your fine motor skills that happen really fast when you work one-on-one with a coach. Teams is kind of maybe a new concept. It's an individual sport. And we've noticed that belonging to a group or feeling connected to a team is really important.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when we were online only during the pandemic and we were talking with our athletes and parents and families and community members, they were reflecting on the parts that they were missing the most was that feeling of being with their team, training with their team, traveling with their team. And so it really allowed us to take a deeper look at how we're organizing our club and how we're organizing the training experience.
High school teams, we have, 5 or 6 that we've been supporting. Youth, Y14, cadet, junior, our veterans. If you're a non-fencer, that's basically an adult fencer. Para means wheelchair fencing, and Division I is often our collegiate athletes. And if you're fortunate, you've been working hard for a while, our high school fencers. We also have some adults who are in that Division I category, which means you're a C-rated fencer or higher.
Yep. So one of the trickier things about jumping into the competitive realm of fencing is just figuring out like what level or what arena you should be competing in. Where do you want to start out? Where do you want to go, or where do you want to end up? And so to help with our athletes and our families, we've come up with 3 different levels to help kind of ground everyone in terms of the level you're competing at and what you need to do to train
to be successful
and be successful for it. So level 1 is someone who is a local competitor. So we're going to bring back our priority on youth tournaments. If you were with us before, you remember that for over a decade we ran a series of youth tournaments to help prepare athletes for learning how to compete. We, as Jen mentioned, are supporting the NC High School League. And then there's also a lot of clubs in North Carolina and really in Virginia and South Carolina and Georgia and Florida that our families and athletes travel to and have an outstanding experience doing that.
Level 2 is where I would say most of Mid-South fencers was. We were very welcoming and opening to a wide variety of training levels. We could create and develop a top athlete on one individual lesson a week, which is almost unheard of. And I think this reflects our group practice training. So level 2, that weekly individual lesson, saying, I'm going to have this goal of a regional event, or I am going to qualify for the national championships. Those become your goals. And then you build your training and your season around those big goals. And there's an annual review, and the dialogue with the coach and the athlete and the families at this level is super important to make sure that the training and the commitment are all on the same page to optimize the experience of being a fencer.
Absolutely. Level 3.
Level 3. This is you're in it to win it. every time a family or a fencer decides they're just going to go all in, we can't tell you about how many benefits just in terms of collegiate options or growing as an individual or having fun as a family. And as a parent, it's parenting your children through difficult situations. There's opportunities to find out about your kid under stressful situations that you normally wouldn't. It's not for the faint of heart, is it?
No. We'll tell you a secret though. Sometimes the hardest part of the process is just figuring out the path you want to take. And once you find a path and you get on a training program and you set some goals, that's when the fun starts.
Yeah.
But there can be a lot of anxiety in just figuring out where do I belong or how do I get started. And once you start heading down a path, we're going to guide you. A good club and good coaches will do that.
And in our parent meeting, multiple of our older or more seasoned parents were like, please ask. They really appreciated the parents before them answering their questions and guiding them, and they were more than willing to talk. So talk to your coaches, text or call us, email us. We're also happy to
and use the community.
Use the community.
Everyone's favorite chart.
Just print this out and put it on your refrigerator.
It changes every season, so I wouldn't laminate it. But so this is the age and classification eligibility chart. And what this tells you is what events based on your birth year and your class. And class means classification, and it's a letter rating that you are eligible to do. Now, the tricky part is that there's a top and a bottom part. The top part is for the season, right? The bottom chart, the ages shift because that has to do with the July Challenge and national championships. And basically use the chart. Birth year is going to be your primary determination of which age category you guys are going to fence.
If you decide to do level 2 and level 3 types of competition, you need to read the athlete manual published on the USA Fencing website, and you need to figure this out and ask other parents and ask us.
Come check us out on social.
You probably already found us on Facebook, but maybe not on Instagram. We just launched an Instagram account,
Forge.fencing.
Forge.fencing.
You can see some cool photos of our build out, and especially once it's complete. I'm sure people want to come check it out.
Some people have had questions about Forge Teams. What's this? This is our nonprofit branch that launched during the pandemic. It's simply to develop leaders and foster equity. We're organizing, we're creating developmental and educational programming, and we compete. We like competition. The things that you're going to immediately see when the doors open is the relaunch of parafencing in North Carolina. Our Teen Leadership Academy and program for high school fencers is also in the launch process. That has been pretty fun.
We've already had 2 meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
The coaching and referee development, everyone in the North Carolina division agrees this is really important. Mark your calendars for the first week in August. Something big is planned. Scholarship program. Mid-South did this informally. We're trying to formalize this. We need help. We're consulting. We're figuring this out. It's not ready to launch. We also want to give a huge shout out for all the one-on-one donations. We've got our first sponsorship, like I mentioned. Locker rentals are going to be a revenue stream for this nonprofit. We also have an idea about interconnecting Durham schools through a teen leadership program past just fencing. We'll see if that evolves. Event registration for Forge Teams events is not on the Forge Fencing website. This is forgeteams.org and forgefencing.com. Mark your browsers.
Summer camps. Yes, we're excited for summer camps.
We miss them. We miss them.
I miss dodgeball and fencing camps. So we've got a very active summer planned. We're very excited to be in this beautiful new facility in downtown Durham. It's going to be phenomenal. Camps are already starting to take registrations. You'll see at the bottom, got a coupon code earlybird22, get you 10% off your camp registration. So hit forgefencing.com. You'll see camps in the upper right. Please take time to plan and talk to your children, especially your preteens and your teens. The high performance camp, especially the one in June, that used to be called pre-nationals camp. Now we're just calling it high performance. That's for our competitors and our emerging competitors. And they want to be there with their friends. So you could plan the most amazing vacation in the world, and your teen will be grumpy with you because they're not at the club with their friends during that week. And of course, if you have questions about which camp is appropriate or which ones they should do, then please just message Jen or Jeff, and we will happily guide you to the right spot.
And now we're just going to talk briefly about a few of the questions that the parents brought up and were really asking about. What is after forge fencing? What comes next? Where can my child continue fencing in the future? And we had a lot of talks about collegiate fencing and the options that they've had.
Yeah, you know, our approach and how we train our athletes and really our families is to set them up with as many choices as they can, as much flexibility as that we can through that training process. And it doesn't matter if they just love fencing and want to come do lessons and classes, or if they want to be a national or international competitor. So we talked about the path towards fencing on NCAA team. We talked about the wealth of fencing club at the collegiate level. A lot of colleges have clubs in our area and across the entire nation.
Many of our members have competed on national or collegiate teams. So the network out there is wide.
Huge.
Yeah, and a lot of the Mid-South graduates have a lot of great experiences, and mostly what it has done is offered a social group to connect someone in their launch out into the world. So it connects them.
Yeah, you go away to college, and whether you're on a team or just join a club or find a local fencing club in your area, anywhere you go, you have an instant group of friends, an instant community that you can join and be part of.
Probably the most difficult part is also navigating parents' intent of planning and forging a path for their kid and balancing that with the child's motivation. And every kid is different. Please consult with us. We'll let you know what we see. We are going to listen to your values and what you want for fencing. And we're going to align what we're doing with your vision for how you raise your child.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the biggest question, so I mentioned earlier, was people really just want to know where they fit in and where to go next.
Reach out, text, call, message us, come visit us. A couple weeks.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, February 11th.